was skeptical about it. I'd heard a lot about it. People were accusing me online of getting fillers. Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I'm really excited to be sharing with you my own skin journey and how I was able to totally transform my skin from the inside with food and with changing my nutrition a bit. I'm going to start out by telling you what foods I cut out for the most part. I'm not too strict, but what I stopped eating. I'm going to tell you about foods that I started incorporating that I do think made a big difference. And finally, I'm going to be sharing with you the food supplements and beauty supplements that I take every single day or as regularly as I can that also really are a big factor in making my skin glowy and beautiful from the inside. So to give you a little bit of history and context, I had terrible skin as a teenager. Probably starting when I was about 13 years old, I really broke out like crazy. And I'm not talking a few pimples. I mean, my whole face was broken out. I don't even think I have a picture to share of this because it's just such a dark time for me. It was so difficult to go through. I did antibiotics. I did all sorts of topical things, Proactive, finally went on Accutane. I can make a whole video about Accutane. In the end, that is actually what did maybe 85-90% of the work as far as clearing up my skin. It was very brutal. It was a hard journey. I think I was on for 6 months or so, but in any case, that's what cleared up most of it. But then afterwards, I still would struggle with 2 or 3 new pimples every single week from then on, all the way until about 6 months to a year ago when my skin really fully cleared up. And I can tell you that it's because I made big changes in my food. So I was always really serious about my skincare. I always really took care of my skin. I have other videos about how to take care of your skin and what sort of I've been doing over the years. But until I changed my food, I would be constantly getting these persistent pimples, like I said, just a few times a week, and it would just drive me crazy. So I finally figured, you know what, this is the last thing I can try. I had kind of avoided it, obviously, because changing your food is a big lifestyle change, but I'm telling you, it was worth it. So let's start out with foods that I no longer eat or that I generally avoid in order to clear up my skin. The number one thing is whey protein. Now, I personally cut out milk years ago because I noticed that milk was really breaking me out and I was getting pimples all the time. I would be drinking lattes and having ice cream and pizza, and when I cut that out, my breakouts really cleared up, and that was amazing. But I'd still been eating whey protein. So whey protein is actually made from cow's milk, which, if you didn't know that, it's made from casein, which is a part of cow's milk, and it has been linked to spiking insulin levels, which can lead to breakouts, as well as impacting hormones, which really contribute to breakouts. So when I read about those things, I was like, you know what, I just have to try it, have to cut it out. And to put it in perspective for you, I was eating so much whey protein. I was adding it to my cereal in the mornings. I was having protein bars regularly as part of lunch or as snacks, like full whey protein bars. I still love them. I still have them a little bit, but I cut out almost all of it. And that was probably the first big thing where I noticed a huge difference in my skin in a matter of weeks. 2 or 3 weeks after really putting in an effort and cutting down on that protein, I noticed a huge difference. If you're eating any kind of whey protein, protein bars, protein powders, you're going to get a smoothie and they put whey protein in. Cut that out, go for plant protein instead. I'm telling you, you're going to notice a huge difference. It also kind of made me feel like my hormones were more regular and more normal. I'm not sure about that. I know hormones take a long time to really kick in and rebalance, but I think I've been noticing better moods. So that'd be really cool if that's a contributing factor. The next big thing that I cut out for the most part is alcohol. Now, I used to drink when I was in my 20s a lot. I would go out partying all the time and get super drunk. And in the past couple of years, it was more like, oh, I'll have a glass of wine with dinner, and on the weekends I'll have 2 or 3 drinks, go out to dinner with friends, have a couple of drinks with them. I wasn't getting super drunk, but I did notice that the next mornings especially, my skin would be puffy, red, irritated, uneven tone, just not really looking its best. And by the end of the week, when I hadn't been drinking as much, like, you know, Monday through Thursday, it was starting to look a little bit better, but I would kind of tumble down the same path on the weekends over and over again. And finally, I was like, I just want to see what would happen if I really cut out drinking. So now I have maybe a glass of wine every 2 weeks, something like that. I've really cut back a lot, and I'm telling you, my skin tone, my skin texture looks glowing. It looks like my skin looked a few years ago. I'm serious, like even 5 years ago. My skin just had a bit more bounce to it, and without drinking, my skin has that exact same bounce back. I don't exactly understand why. I know that alcohol can be very dehydrating, but other than that, I'm not really sure why it has such a huge impact on skin, but I'm telling you, it really does. Not to mention, my mood is way better. I don't get that kind of like next day anxiety, obviously no hangovers. So if you are drinking a lot and you're noticing that your skin is uneven or puffy, red, anything like that, I had just lots of like different tones in my skin. I don't know how to describe it. I always thought that was just what I was born with, but it was the alcohol. So weird, weirdest thing ever. Just give it a try, and I think you might notice a big difference. For this next section, I'm going to be sharing with you foods that I really started incorporating more of, and I think I noticed a big difference. So the number one thing has to be fats. I eat a whole bunch of nuts every single day, handfuls of nuts, like 2 full handfuls every single day. I always start out my mornings with walnuts, but I also love toasted almonds, cashews, pistachios, everything. I literally love them. They've got a bunch of healthy fats and aminos in them, and I just absolutely love that. Along the same lines, I try and eat a full avocado every single day and lots of olive oil. And I noticed when I started incorporating all these fats that my skin had a new kind of bounciness to it, like almost plumper. And it's not like I'm getting fatter or anything. It's like my skin itself was fatter in a weird way. And I know that sounds weird, but trust me, it looks so much more beautiful. To the point that people were accusing me online of getting fillers. They're like, oh, we can see in your skin that you've gotten fillers. And it's like, no, I just wasn't eating enough fats before, and I would get these little micro lines kind of around my eyes and around my mouth. I don't know how to describe it. And when I started eating a whole bunch more fats, I didn't cut anything else out. I'm actually eating a lot more calories, but I didn't gain weight, so I don't really understand how that works. In any case, all those lines went away, and my skin just has like a new buoyancy to it that I absolutely love. Similarly, I do eat salmon a few times a month. I don't eat any other kind of meat. I'm basically plant-based, like I mentioned before, but I do incorporate salmon when I can, whether it's sushi or just grilled salmon. I really enjoy it, and I know that the fats in there are good for you as well. The last note I'm going to make is that if you're not drinking enough water, you really should be drinking a lot of water every single day. This was never an issue for me, but I know that not drinking enough water and being dehydrated can impact all sorts of things on your skin. It can make the tone uneven, it can feel dry, it can look dry or flaky, it can just be really bad. So drink a lot of water, and also eat foods like cucumbers, mushrooms, celery, antioxidant fruits like berries and melon. Anything with a high water content is going to be really good for your skin, as well as just obviously drinking it. I personally love in the morning just a little note to make this kind of cereal mixture, which is oatmeal and blueberries and melon. And I also put some vegan protein cereal in there, and it's just so yummy. So if you ever needed a chance to kind of get more water in, and I use almond milk, this is a great recipe, and I absolutely love it. The last part of this video is going to be me sharing with you what I take as far as beauty supplements, probiotics, things like that I've noticed a huge difference in my skin. So the first one, I have to give a huge shout out to The Beauty Chef. I was skeptical about it, I'd heard a lot about it, but it is pretty expensive for what you get. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. Collagen Beauty Boost and the Glow Powder. Now I will say, some people say, oh, collagen doesn't work. This actually doesn't contain any liquid collagen. It just is, what does it have in here? A vegan biofermented elixir. It supports collagen production with pomegranate and papaya extract, vitamin C for plump skin, and fermented probiotics for a healthy belly. Whatever it is, when I started drinking this, it worked wonders on my skin, to the point that I was like, what else does this brand have? And then I picked up the Glow Powder. So now what I do is I take a big glass of water. I also sometimes put ginger or cayenne lemon in it, and then I'll put in a spoonful of the Collagen Beauty Boost, a spoonful of the Glow Powder, and it is just amazing. And when I started drinking that regularly, again, my skin tone cleared up, and kind of what people talk about when they start drinking collagen, oh, you know, their skin looks so vibrant, so alive. I really noticed that when I started drinking these two. This says Glow Inner Beauty Essential with biofermented whole food beauty powder for healthy skin, hair, and nails. I think that this does have biotin in it. I will note that I have kind of a problem when it comes to breaking out in biotin. If I take pure biotin, I get like cystic acne. It's the weirdest thing ever. This has never given me a problem. It's not too much biotin, I think. So however that works, I've never had a problem with this, and I've been having both of these things for maybe 2 or 3 months now. Really good. Highly recommend. Next up, if you're not taking probiotics, I really think you should start. Not only is having a healthy gut microbiome so important for your mood, but it also can impact your skin, your hair, everything on the outside too. For a while, I had tried the refrigerated kind and all sorts of things. I just love this one because I think it's really pretty. It's called Seed. It's like this really cool company. It has prebiotics and probiotics in it, and you can order this on a monthly subscription, which is what I do. Oh, and they're also really pretty. I'll show you. They're like this dark green pill. They're like amazing. Anyways, you take 2 of these in the morning, and having it on a subscription forces me to take them, because in the morning, if I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like taking a pill, which is like the stupidest excuse ever, but if I ever feel that way, I'm like, oh no, I have to take them because I've got more coming and I don't want to like pile up, if that makes sense. Kind of weird logic. I do also have rose water, although I don't have any of that right now to show and share, so I can make that in a separate video if anyone is interested. But the last beauty supplement that I take every single day, or that I eat every day rather, are my Clever blends. This one's almost empty. I need to get a new one immediately. My first favorite is matcha Basically, it's like a matcha powder that you mix in water, and then I add some steamed milk on top, and it makes like a creamy and delicious, amazing barista latte. I don't even know how to describe it. This stuff is so good. And then what's inside is matcha, oat milk, coconut cream. So the oat milk and the coconut cream is why you can blend it with water, and it tastes so creamy. There's also ashwagandha. I don't know if I said that right. It's for stress. It helps you feel less stressed. Lion's mane, which is supposed to help with your focus. Reishi, which is mood boosting, and more probiotics. I feel like I probably get so many probiotics, but you probably can't overdo it. I should look into that. Don't take my word on that. I'm not a nutritionist. But yeah, so this is super, super delicious. I have this every single day, and then sometimes I have this. I'll mix it in with my cereal in the morning, or if I'm really into it, I'll do a coffee with this. Although I usually use my espresso machine, which is why this one's so much more full. Basically, the ingredients are the same, but the flavors are different. I love this stuff. I'm so impressed. Usually I feel like the powders and stuff like that aren't as good as, you know, they look or anything like that. I don't know, I just don't love them. These, like 10 out of 10 recommend. I absolutely love them. So that's it as far as the beauty foods that I take or eat every single day, and the foods that I started incorporating and stopped incorporating. Let me know if you have any questions about this, or if you've started incorporating new foods that you've noticed a big difference in your skin, or how your skin has changed over time with different supplements. I always love getting new recommendations, and I really appreciate you guys for being here and for clicking on today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.